let's now get to the big story that we're tracking. The number of deaths in Nepal's earthquake could reach 10,000. That's what Prime Minister Sushil Koirala told news agencies today as he appealed for foreign supplies of tents and medicines. He also ordered that rescue efforts be intensified. It's been 4 days since the devastating quake, and while the number of dead has crossed 4,350, with over 7,000 injured, there are many remote villages that remain cut off, and hundreds, if not thousands of people are feared trapped there. It is one big race against time to rescue people, and as the enormity of the tragedy slowly unfolds, more world aid is now pouring in. The US, UK and Canada have now joined the Asian countries in offering help.
Bad news continues. The weather is just not holding up. Heavy rains have stopped rescue operations, adding to the worries and concerns of people of Nepal, coupled with fear of more aftershocks that could continue over the next couple of weeks. Another threat that looms large over Nepal is the fact that it's cold enough to snow over the higher reaches. 100% chance of it to rain through the course of the day is likely what we're expecting as far as today is concerned. The search, rescue and cleanup operations could get hampered. The temperature today down a notch from yesterday. It's at 23 degrees. Due to the thunder showers that one had to face for the people who were out there on the streets last night, especially out in the open. Later tonight, the showers have a 90% chance, but the temperature will remain as cold as last night. It was as bad as 12 degrees, making life even tougher to deal with the cold as well as wet weather conditions that will continue right up till the weekend. It's only from Sunday onwards that the chances of rain go down to about 10%, and for it to be all clear, that's likely to happen only till about Tuesday. That's next week, but even then on, rains will sadly make a comeback. Lightning could be another issue. One really needs to pray that lightning shouldn't strike, considering most people are outdoors sleeping with barely a tent as a roof. One really is spinning their hopes for no fog formation, as well as that could cause a further delay in the air traffic. Now let's just take a look as to the cloud formation that one can see over Nepal as well as Bihar. A dust storm gave way to blinding showers in Bihar. The dust storm will make its way even to parts of Delhi, Rajasthan as well as West Madhya Pradesh, but adjoining areas of Uttar Pradesh as well as Odisha and Sikkim will see showers coming in. However, they'll be lighter in comparison to the way it's been raining in Bihar.
So, Beck, you've been flying right through India earthquake aftermath. The regions are very inaccessible and it's difficult to fly. Tell us what you've been seeing.
It's like a disaster. It's like there are many casualties, right? Media haven't been those places. Even when we leave the valley, there are many casualties, many broken homes, right? And people are staying outside the home. Government is only focusing on certain places, but there are many disasters over outside the valley and inside the valley. And we like Indian Army Force, and we private helicopters, army helicopters are doing the rescues. I think all the helicopters focus in like it should be distributed 3 helicopters to one region. It should be like this. I think like that, because some places they don't even are getting they are not getting rescues.
How many people do you think that thousands still trapped?
Yeah, more than thousands. Yeah, in Sindhupalanchak, I think the road is blocked, right? And more than it's a tourist place as well, right? So more than thousands are trapped in that place.
16-year-old Sering Sherpa has been brought in from Rasua, one of the worst hit districts, along with her injured brother. The two lucky to be rescued within minutes of being buried under the rubble. Elisha Gwacha's rescue, nothing short of a miracle. She was trapped under a mountain of concrete for 16 long hours before rescue workers could reach her. She still doesn't know her grandmother couldn't make it out alive. She's in extreme trauma, and they also, earlier when she was being brought here, the only reassurance that somehow managed to calm her down was when her father was holding her hand, and that seemed to be the only thing that seemed to calm her down. She's under severe trauma, and also when she actually was rescued out of the rubble, at that time the only thing that she told some of her relatives was that she actually saw death staring at her. This Italian tourist airlifted from Langtang, a popular trekking destination in Nepal, where she was injured as she tried running away from the falling debris. 2 of her fellow trekkers did not survive. As rescue work is stepped up, hospitals are feeling the pressure of the increasing number of injured coming in.
You see, our operating theaters, we have limited. Like for me, I want to finish my case as soon as possible. I know if I do surgery as soon as possible, patient will have excellent outcome. If there is delay in few hours, patient might die. But there are least choices. There is a bed. When the patient is changing all the time, they are moving. Like he went for like in number 20, there is Mr. ABC who has head trauma. He went for some investigation in the other room. In the meantime, as the bed was empty, vacant, some other patient landed up.
Volunteers are chipping in whatever way they can. This Nepali doctor has come in from London to help out.
We are going through a big supply deficit, which lots of people from India and abroad have said they are willing to supply. So we need to see what the deficit is here. So at the moment, I think the main deficit is with life-saving supplies like IV fluids, analgesics, antibiotics. The demand will be huge on the health system. So the other priority area would be to try to set up camps outside so the hospitals are freed for more major cases and big cases.
We are here in yet another village in the western part of Nepal, and rescue operations are on in full swing over here. We've got people who are critically ill being brought in some ambulances, some jeeps, and being transported from them through way of crutches to the aircraft. You've got the Nepali Red Cross also working along this area. This man has hit his head really bad and is also hurt on the feet. This seems like a family of sorts. The woman is also crying, unable to move. People are now trying to get her out of the van. It's devastating to see the kind of people who are being brought in here. People who can hardly walk, they've injured their hands and limbs and are being now airlifted from such remote areas in Nepal through these Indian Air Force helicopters. Another one here, another one extremely elderly citizen being brought in here and will be taken on our aircraft. With this, we'll try and get them back to the base camp where immediate medical facilities shall be provided. We come to you from one of the rescue operations being done by the Indian Air Force, where this helicopter has landed to the remotest areas of western Nepal and brought in all these people. These visuals on your screens are the people desperate in need of help who have now been picked up by the Indian Air Force and brought in here. They were all rescued from this swamp village near the China border, we are told. This is the western part of Nepal, which has been maximum hit. This woman here, you can see, just devastating. She's got stitches on her forehead, her hand severely injured, couldn't be sitting straight. Another woman here, hand fractured, and the face kind of swings off the kind of devastation they faced, brought in here. I also have a little boy who seems to have hit his head very badly. This is being done by the Indian Air Force in collaboration with the Nepali army. They're going and working people on the ground, and there the people are able to tackle it in the air, lifted and brought back. We're bringing you aerial shots of the west region of Kathmandu, where the maximum impact of the earthquake has taken place. The houses that you saw on your screens there, it's houses like these out of the city in isolated pockets that have seen the maximum impact. And to them, we will bring these. These are the supplies which the Indian Air Force is carrying. These massive boxes that you see here are tents which will be dropped, water, food, tents mostly brought in here by the Indian Army and now being handed over to the Nepalese Army here. The Indian Air Force brings them in, and the Nepalese Army then further going on to distribute them amongst the locals.
Well, this is a tragedy of Himalayan proportions, and in fact, while India is leading the efforts, other countries have also joined in. This team from China with specialized equipment that can see through the ground. In fact, fiber optic cable. Sir, if you can tell us what this machine does.
We call that snake eye. Yes, snake eye. Yeah, it's sort of optical.
So there's a camera at the end of that.
Camera, yeah, it's a camera here.
And that you can see here.
Yes, monitor. Yeah. Operator here, and you can see like a snake. Yeah.
So you can make a hole or you can go into and see if there's a person there.
Very deep way.
Also, sir, this is a big tragedy, but it's brought people together. It's brought Indians, Chinese, Japanese, everyone together because the task is so big.
Yeah. It's very disaster. It's a big disaster. So people from all over the world come here to help Nepal people.
You've seen some of the accident sites, sir. How long do you think it's going to take to perhaps to try and clear all the buildings, to try and make sure there is no one trapped beneath? How long do you think it's going to take, in your estimate?
Normally 13 hours is the we call the golden time to rescue people from
So perhaps now the chances of finding people alive are fading.
Possibly, it's possible we can find alive people.
Possible, and that's why you're using equipment like this. The NDRF team is also deployed with you, everyone working side by side to try and find out. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you.